Hey, Radiant Souls, welcome back. Thanks for spending a couple of minutes with me today. I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to talk today about, I actually talk a lot about the stories we tell ourselves and the things that we keep thinking on a loop in our heads, and I have kind of a different way to look at it today. So last night I watched the new movie Elvis, which was remarkable. My opinion is creepy Tom Hanks, which we won't go there, but I think a lot of you know why I say creepy like that. He looked the right appropriate amount of creepy, and so that was kind of satisfying to be like repulsed when you saw him on screen. But the actor playing Elvis, in my opinion, from what I was witnessing, there were times where he potentially was channeling Elvis. Like there was just such a purity of, and that's not to undermine his craft as an actor. I've always thought that acting and creativity in general is right on par with channeling because you're tapping into something greater than you. So anyway, if you are an Elvis fan, I wasn't even a super big Elvis fan, could take it or leave it, but it was a very, I thought, well done movie. But it got me thinking, and it got my guides chatting to me about those repetitive thoughts that we have that maybe don't serve us. Could you think about them instead as like your encore songs? So if you went to see Elvis, you would always hear the same kind of songs, his hits, right? And I have many musician friends who also have this happen when they do a show. Their fans expect a certain song or two songs, and they do them night after night after night, hundreds of shows a year, decades, same songs. And I've asked them, doesn't that get a little bit old? And surprisingly, they say no. It's actually, number one, it's an honor that anybody wants to hear their song. But what they do to keep it fresh is changing it up a little bit. And Elvis would do the same thing. So when we have those thoughts that are like our go-tos or our encore, and you know what I mean, you're having a day where things maybe don't go as perfectly as you might want them to. And so you start to think, oh, well, I didn't do that other thing right 5 years ago either. And this is probably the consequence of that. And you start to dig a hole for yourself. And it gets harder and harder to climb out of that some days because you just don't have the emotional bandwidth to do it. And we've all been there. But if you reframe that and think, well, this is just like my encore song. This is my, if I'm Elvis, and pun intended, this is my Suspicious Minds, if you know that song. I'm caught in a trap. I can't walk out. Can you, metaphorically, change the arrangement? Can you get some backup singers? Can you kick it up to a different octave? So many times it's hard for us to completely pull out of those thoughts because they've been with us for years. They're like the gold records that we won awards for. We're so good at thinking these thoughts. But if we maybe don't look at the insurmountable task of completely removing them, but we just tweak them a little bit. So, maybe you think, oh, I've always been unable to do this certain thing. It's not what I'm very good at. I'm probably going to mess it up. Just add a little spice into that and think, but if I tried it a different way, or if I just put myself in a spot where I can have a different perspective, like get in there, be your own backup singer, change the arrangement of that thought just a little bit. And I know I'm speaking really metaphorically, but I also know you guys can hang with that. So, just a little bit of a different way to look at the way that our minds chatter at us sometimes. If you think of it as that encore where you come back on stage for yourself and you're like, yes, as my final act of the evening, I am going to think all these big thoughts that will then limit me again, because that's what I'm used to doing, kicking myself when I'm down. But maybe the audience wants a little something different. So switch up the melody, switch up the arrangement, do what you got to do to tweak those thoughts just a little bit, and you change their frequency and you change their resonance. And so rather than saying, oh, I have to redo this whole thing, you just take the tiniest little bit of it and you tweak that. And then the next night when that song comes up again for you, those thoughts start coming up again, you just say, okay, well, they're a little different this time. what else can I kind of change? What other ingredient? Can I add a 30-piece orchestra behind it? Can I strip it down and just sing it myself and not need the drama that goes with the thought? Whatever it is. So have fun playing around with that. I kind of liked the metaphor that my team was showing me, so I just wanted to share it today. So I hope you're all having an amazing day. I will see you next time. Bye.